I'm doing a live with Sam Tune today. She's in Australia. Just want to make sure that she is on so I can invite her on. There she is. I had to put my ears on, Sam. I had to. Let's have a look. Oh, she's coming. Yeah, I had to put the ears on, Sam. Couldn't not. We just...
Hi. We're on. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, now I've got my ears on.
Yes. Oh, fabulous.
I'm trying to move my phone so you can see them, but yeah, they're like Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, they're glistening as well.
You suit, yeah? Made for it.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I thought I'd put a bit of red lippy on. I feel like I'm more me.
Yeah, I know.
Like, yeah.
I'll wash my hair for a change. It's all nice and fresh, and put some lipstick on and mascara.
It looks super sleek.
We've got a visitor as well. We've got Arlo with us today. He's just sat watching.
Your dog?
Yeah, he's waiting for his WALK. It's like...
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
I know. So
amazing.
I know, I'm excited. I can't believe you're in Australia. I miss it so much.
I know. I can't believe you're only here for such a short amount of time.
No. It was meant to be that it was divine timing, wasn't it? Like I was meant to meet you and I was meant to get on that journey, and now I'm just living life to the best.
Amazing. I can't wait to hear all about it. So, why don't you introduce yourself to my followers?
Say again, sorry.
You introduce yourself to my followers.
Okay, so hey to everyone's Sam's followers. So I'm a coach and I'm all about manifestation, self-love, spirituality, and I feel like it's kind of like all, I don't know, I try and make it sound different, but technically it's what I'm passionate about. And I have a niche because I'm like the Disney princess, and I bring the fun and I bring like the calmness and the kid-like to it. So I get everyone to go within, you know, when they're a child and see what actually, you know, they love to do as a child. And I just have this vision of helping people get on that path. And I always think of like, you know, Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz, like getting on that path and not coming off the brick road. I always have visions of that. And I think as a coach, I've always been good at helping people and giving people advice. Well, I had to get myself on my path first so I could be like, okay, so now I can help people get on their path. And yeah, I think talking from like a different person who was like, would describe it, Disney, animals. So I bring like the whole of the world together, if that makes sense. So I love people, I love animals, I love nature. So like as a whole, it's like I'm like an all-rounder.
You definitely are. And you host your own events and women's circles and meditations, and what else do you got?
Yeah, so the events that I normally do are full moon events because I'm so into the moon. I was always into the stars and a bit of one of those like kids that was just always into like random stuff, and I was a deep thinker, so I'd be like, oh, what are the stars doing up there, and is there any other planets? And remember my parents being like, Pip, can you stop asking so many questions? I would like ask so many questions as a kid. It's a Scouse thing, I think, because we're both from Liverpool, so it's like we just natter so much.
Amazing.
Yeah, so my full moon events I do every month when I'm in the UK, obviously wherever I go, I try and do them online as well. And I've been doing self-love events. I had an event last month with Louisa. She's a perfect medium, so that was a really good event. And yeah, I do meditations, I do group stuff, you know, because I feel like people miss out on being in that community, especially what's going on in the world right now. I like to bring people together online as well because people need that, you know, when they feel lonely and stuff.
Well, you done some like buddying, or like you done something, yeah. But when I was like, that's so. Explain what that is.
Yeah, so when all this crisis kicked in, I'm very intuitive, so I do a lot of meditation. I kind of like channel a lot, so I've been really focusing on listening to my gut and like thinking, okay, what do I need to do to help people? How can Pip be at her highest level and help people in need. So when I was meditating that day, I was like, check-in buddies. I was like, I would love to be able to check in with everyone, but I don't have the energy and the time to do that every day, even though I'd love to. So I thought, why don't I design something that, I pair people up? So a few people were asking, can I go with such a body? And can I go with such a body? And I said, it's amazing. I said, but I want to pair you up with a stranger because, one, I love making new connection. And two, I have this thing of bringing people together. And I think I buddied like 25 pairs. It's like 50 people like buddied up at the minute, and they're checking in every day and building a relationship. And like they're at different parts of the world. I've got one in Australia, it's in Australia. There's one in Africa. There's one in America. It's like, and I love that. I just love that.
Wow, yeah, because obviously right now you need the check-ins. Like it does keep you on straight and narrow because it's just so unpredictable, especially like what
I think I don't like people getting lonely. Like I'm such a people person, and one thing I'll give a few tips towards the end of the live, but one thing I always say, I've got a list of things that I love to do, just for Pip, and one of them is always making people smile. Like that is one of my things. Like, I just love making people happy and doing something good for them.
Isn't it the best? Well, I'm super grateful to be on a live with you and to have connected with you. Very good. Would you?
Yeah, so I'll just talk now with all the stuff that's going on. So I built up a Facebook community, and I just love, like, I'm not all about, thousands and thousands and thousands of people in my group. I'm more about making a community that is solid and close. I like the closeness of I wouldn't say it's like, I like the group that I've got because it's growing every day. And the people that are coming in there are the ones that actually do need guidance. They need someone who, to look up to. And I feel like I'm like the mum. Like I love, that's another thing. Like I was always a mum. I like looking after people. And I've got that caring nature about me. So I love building the group up. I love doing my story. I love doing things like this because my big vision in life is, I've always said, on a daily basis when I'm doing my lives and my videos and stories, if I can just help one person a day, that's my mission complete. Because I don't know, someone could have woke up, they're driving to work and they listen to like, a live that I've done, or, in the day they pick up the phone and go, oh, listen to Pip today. And that could have changed their mindset or just changed the way they're thinking that day. And that makes me feel so good and so special. So that for me is like, and I have my podcast coming out on Monday, which I'm just so excited for. And I think that, again, people are driving to work or driving wherever and they've got me on the podcast talking, then I feel like it could just change them that day. They could just like, really downer and not knowing where to go next, and then listen to Pip for 10 minutes and go, okay, yeah, like, let's get this going. Let's change something about me. And that's all I'm here to do, is just shine that light and give people that. It's just like, I'm a big magic believer, but I always say magic isn't what you do, it's what you are.
Exactly. It's the energy that you emit. And if you cut off from magic or you cut off from love, you don't get to experience it. And that's just like, that's the sad part, is that people, even myself included, I never used to experience life magic. And then now that we are blessed, we just want to share it. Like, listen, life can be magical, like it can be super good. So how can people your group, if like anyone wants to like connect with you? Or
so on my Instagram profile there's the link, so you just click on the link and there's my Facebook community link there. So just click in, you can join my group. And reach out to me, because I'm such a giver. Like I've got the biggest heart ever. So a lot of what I do is I give a lot. So I've got a lot of free content that I've done over the last couple of weeks. I've made workbooks. So I've got like full moon workbooks, I've got new moon workbooks, I've got self-love workbooks, I've got meditations that I've done. I've just done things like that together, just so people can use that on a daily basis. And in general, like I like doing challenges. I love, especially with manifestation, like I'm doing something this week or maybe early next week that I'm going back to basics with people, because I think everyone's energy's obviously dipped a little bit with what's going on. So I feel like people need to get the spirits back up, and manifestation basics, I think, would really help people, because it goes back to the fun of it. Because we're all not getting what we want at the moment, and that's a collective, isn't it? That's not, I'd love to be with Chris right now in LA and him be here, but we can't have that right now. So I think if we go back to basics and manifest the smaller things and have fun with it, that's going to bring people's spirits up again.
A lot of people get with manifestation, so I think like it's a good thing to speak about, especially at this time when everything's changing. And I think like people make plans to think that they can manifest everything, and it's like not how it works. So like
you got to go back to, like, you can manifest bad things as well. It's everything. You've got to look at, like, okay, so I always tell my friends and my clients, okay, so they say, oh God, I manifested a ticket today or a bill, and I'm like, well, that comes to manifestation as well. And anyone who's new to manifestation doesn't really know. It's about the law of attraction. So anything you hold in your mind, you can have in your hands. It's just having that belief. And I always say to people, you aren't going to manifest the things you want to, or just say attract the things you want to, if you're not on that level. So I always say everything is energy. It's just simple. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating at different frequencies. And when you reach different levels, you will match. So a big example is when I attract Chris into my life. He's my soulmate. So I wouldn't have attracted him a year ago because I wasn't at the right level to meet him. So you have to be on an energy frequency to manifest certain things. And I've been learning a lot about manifestation. Actually, I want to go back to basics again, because it's not hard. It's just being aware of it, and it's being positive about it. But the big thing you have to remember is the belief. You have to believe it. And you only say, oh, I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it. It's the opposite. You'll see it when you believe it, and you've got to believe in yourself and believe you deserve it. And I think that's why self-love comes in so much with manifestation, because
self-love is everything.
Yeah. I want to say hi to what who's oh my God, son, hi, Dad.
Hi.
Louise is on. Louise is my friend, my psychic medium. She's absolutely incredible. She's just an earth angel. You need to get in touch with her.
Hi,
she is incredible. Hi to everyone. So anyone who's new to law of attraction and manifestation, they're watching this going, what the hell does that mean? I started mine with The Secret. So go watch The Secret, read The Secret, or I watched it because I like watching movies and things. So it's on Netflix, so just watch it on there. And I think for me, I would say open your minds. Just open your minds to possibilities, because there's so many possibilities. And one thing I always do, which is like, you probably do this, Sam, is at night time, especially in Australia, because your stars there are like, oh, amazing. I used to go outside and just look up and think, I'm so small compared to like what's out there. And it makes me feel like happy, because I'm like, there's no other Pip, there's no other Sam, there's no other, you're so special in this universe. And there's things out there that we don't know, and there's things out there that we just don't have a clue what's. And I love that feeling, because that makes me want to live life to the full, because I think we're not here for long.
That's it. It's this moment. This is all we've got, and unfortunately, a lot of us got an overactive nervous system, not very aware of our thoughts. So we think we are our thoughts, and we get to miss the magic in the moment because we're mentally projecting to something that could possibly happen in the future, or reliving something that happens in the past. But then makes your energy field go out of sync, out of whack, and it traps you on a dimension. And so what's happening now is people that wasn't looking at lessons, people that have got calm lessons to learn on earth, whether it's from a past life, we're all experiencing it now collectively. So we either have an opportunity to say thank you for this blessing, because it's a lesson and learn from it. So how can I look at what I need to look at to get me on the highest possible timeline to call in the manifestation that I'm asking for, but they still feel greater than me. So if they feel greater than me, how can I ever have it? So we have to also complete the tasks before we get to certain manifestations. It is a process, and some of them are going to be lifelong missions.
Yeah.
And like constant working on them. The minute you think you've got through it, boom. Now,
Yeah.
so we're being triggered to our core to really clear out all of these old patterns that probably wasn't even ours as well.
No. That's like past karma, isn't it? You know, you're dealing with that in this life, and that's like the stuff that I'm really into. And but I believe as well is one thing that I always tell people to do is get in the present moment, because we're so, I think this is why, so I think this lockdown, I call it a retreat. I feel like it's helping people, well, I feel like it's helping people do the things that they want to do for a while, especially people who have more time. But I feel like we're all actually, you know, just breathing for a moment. Okay, just breathe. Because I feel people are just on a rush all the time. They're like in the car rushing, getting road rage. They're rushing. Everyone's rush, and that makes me like stressed because I hate rushing. Like I'd rather just chill, and I'm very in flow. Like if that's meant to happen, that's meant to happen. And I'm a big believer in divine timing. So if you look at life with complete love in every aspect, you will know every challenge, every amazing memory, everything that's happening to you is for you, because you need to grow. So we all have different fears and different, you know, blocks that, you know, can come from like our childhoods. And I feel like we're gonna have lessons thrown at us, like you said, to go, you haven't learned that lesson yet, sort it out. Here's another lesson, here's another challenge, until you go, right, I've cracked it. And that could be a lifelong thing, but you've got to see challenges as a thing because they're making you grow.
100%. And talking about lessons, what have you learned in COVID-19? Like, what have you learned, or what's like been the lesson of this interesting shifts that we're experiencing?
But it's funny, me and Chris were talking about this last night. Like, one thing is, you know, not taking your loved ones for granted, because you physically don't, but then when you actually look at what you're in now, you think, oh my God, like the last time I saw Chris, we were just hugging in the airport, crying, saying, I'll see you next week, because it was only going to be like 10 days till I seen him. And actually it wasn't, like it's been a month now. So I'm never going to take that for granted, because like, you know, when they say, you know, think of today, because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday's gone. I feel like you never know what's going to happen. So when
that's gorgeous. Say that again.
What about today and tomorrow?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, but tomorrow isn't here yet and yesterday's gone. So you've got to live now. Like, you know, tomorrow isn't promised, because look what happened within 2 hours, when Chris should have been flying here. He rang me in tears saying he can't come. And that was in 2 hours. That was within 2 hours. I spoke to him at midnight. He rang me at 2 and he was like, I can't come. And that's how much life can change. It's the same, like, not to bring up death, but that's how quick life can change in that as well, you know, someone passing. So I feel like we have to appreciate. So when I next see Chris and we say bye, I'm going to be like, I'm actually going to say bye like I'm never going to see you again, because it was such a moment where we're like, stay positive, I'm going to see you next week. And we're not. It's a month down the line and we miss each other like crazy. Another thing is, I know a lot of people are still working, and it's, you know, things have changed. The majority of us aren't working in the UK because it's not an essential business. But I feel like all that time you said you didn't have, you have that now. So I always said, you know, that book that's on your shelf with all that dust, go and get it off. If that, you know, if you've got a colouring book, you know, I've got loads of Disney colouring books, go and get your pens out and colour. You know, if that book you wanted to write, you know, the story, write it, get a journal out, start journaling your story, you know, get your voice out there, and, you know, start meditation, download the Calm app, all these things that you go. And one thing as well on the subject is, if you probably have heard this before, is we're always saying things like, I should do this or I should do that, and that shouldn't be what you're saying. You should be going, no, sorry, you need to be saying, I want to do this, I need to do that, I want to do this. Because when you say should, your brain doesn't react in the right way. It's like, well, you should doesn't really mean you want to, so maybe I won't. So I think, I feel like
I am going to, or I get to.
Yeah, because you have the time now. So people say, oh, you know, I wish I read that book. So, well, you can now, like, use that time. And I feel like when we are in our normal life and our normal routines, took them for granted as well. So I would get up early, I would walk the dog, and then when, by the time I get home, I'm like, oh, I just want to sit and just chill. And by the time I got to 9 o'clock, I'm like, what have I just done with 3 hours? So I feel it's like giving yourself time, to chill and time to do what you want to do, but then actually always working on yourself, I always want to improve myself in so with mindfulness and obviously physical activity and keeping my brain active. So another thing is time. Like, we take time for granted, and time is an illusion, really, because, all those years ago, they didn't have a concept of time. They used the moon, and time is just something we tick and we tick and we tick. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's 9 o'clock now, I go to bed. Okay, it's 6 o'clock, I get up. I think we need to just see every day as it is and make sure we're filling the cup to what we want to do. And I feel like people in this COVID-19 crisis as well is they're going to have mass awakenings, because I felt like I can feel it. Like, I can feel people like looking, why is this happening? What's this about? And we're turning to people like me and you to look for guidance and for positivity, because it's needed now. It's really needed. I think people are realising, life is short, and nothing's happened in my lifetime like this, and no one's lifetime unless they're over 100. But it is scary when you think of the picture, but it's out of our control. So all we can do is control what's in our life right now and use that to our best ability, which is time, work, family, mindfulness, mindset.
Amazing. That's what I'm saying. There is actually really good lessons that come from it. For me, I'm seeing the breakdown of the ego collective. So, like what you were saying about the mass awakening, yeah, but if you look at, I feel like this is the rise of the divine feminine. And we've been led by the distorted masculine. And you can just look at that, the way still not equal for women and men, and there's just so much negativity still out there, and a lot of it's in power. So it's like it suppressed the divine feminine, but that's not a woman or a man, that's just energetic. So your divine feminine is more like your compassion, your feeling, your love. Your masculine's like your action, boundaries, your power. So that's what I'm saying. It's gender based, but what it's this, like, Mother Earth is having a huge page.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And we are also doing the same. And even myself, I've had to check my ego. Like, this has been good for me to check in with my ego, because I've started putting it a bit more, which was what I wanted. I needed an excuse to push me to share my message a bit more anyway. And I've watched myself become addicted to scrolling. I've watched difficult thoughts about myself, and I've watched me battle with my ego throughout this whole process, and I'm really sitting with it and using the time wisely, and actually saying it is a retreat. Like, I am on my alls. Yeah, but because of this, and I'm doing it internal work, like life stuff, I'm still getting, I had a manifestation that come true like that. So what's his second name? Chris, who is like the Kardashians and Joe's hairstylist. I've been wanting to get on a live with him, and I was procrastinating, and then it popped up that he was on live. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to tune in, and I'm getting on it today. And he has a good couple of hundred. And I wrote down in my diary, thank you for connecting me live with Chris. And then I wrote down what I wanted to say to him. And then as he was doing it, I was literally looking at him, and I was like, Samantha Tune, Samantha Tune, Samantha Tune. And it connected. And I was like, oh my God, even that on its own, is that not confirmation of all of this, what's happening? It is a gift. Use the time wisely. You don't have to do that type of work that you're doing, but you need to do your internal work. And even as leaders, as spiritual people, we're still human. We still have to check in and be okay with being wrong as well. Like, I feel like humility is coming up so much and people are going to have to start asking for help. And money seems to be such a private thing, and it gives people status and power, whereas now we're going to be stripped of that.
Yeah, because that ego for me is what protects you as well. It's the little voice that goes, oh, like, and I get it, but at the same time, you don't need it. And it comes from childhood as well. It's like that ego that, that go, oh, I need to protect you, I need to protect you. And one thing that I was reading in my book the other day was about, obviously, anxiety. I feel everyone's, anxious feelings around this COVID-19. And I feel like all they have to do is focus on the good and the gratitude and what they've actually got around them, and realise that that's happening now in the world is out of our control, and we have to let it go. So, Chris will laugh at this, because I remember saying to him, like, I just got carried away because I was in my zone. I remember saying to him, well, when we were like cavemen and cave women, and we were running away from like saber-tooths and dinosaurs, we went around when dinosaurs were here. I was like, oh yeah, we'll just saber-tooth then. It was like, it's just, I was like, oh yeah, well, you know what I mean? Just like, the saber-tooths and everything. So obviously, we in our DNA, we are built to survive. We are built to that's why I think all these panic buyers, like I'm not panicked buyer, because we're kind of like calmer, but that's why you see panic buy, because people's fight turns on. Okay, yeah, I need to panic to survive. I'm going to starve. And it's like, that's their internal dialogue that's been stored for thousands of years that we don't realise. Chris is laughing. It's just like, I was like, well made up with that. And he said, no, Pip, we weren't around with dinosaurs. Like, oh, we weren't, were we? I was like, ooh. Yeah, so I feel like we need to just I feel like people who are calm and just sit and breathe and just go, it's okay, we're not going to run out of food, like it's limitless, like it's unlimited supply, like we're not, it's the people that are panic buying, and that's where you see, okay, well, you need to do more mindfulness, because when it's not, it's been distilled into your brain for so long. You need to get out of that mindset of just let life flow, be in the present. Yes, you need to eat, you need to drink, but to panic buy is a clear indication of that happening. Run away from dinosaurs. Like it's just, that's why I feel like that. I think that the emotion, the world emotion that I feel everyone needs to do right now is calm. Just calm, because I feel like the word of the year is calmness, because there's so many people worried about it, and I totally get it. Like, it is a worry for some people, especially with health and elderly parents, and it is. But you've got to realize that this is all meant to be, and we all, people like us have compassion for people, and we're sending so much love out, and we're sending our, our vibes and our energy, and that's why we're so special. And I feel like it's awakening more people to be like that, especially around here, the communities that are coming together. It's unbelievable. It's really, really special. And I feel like, okay, can we carry that on in a pandemic or not? Can we not just carry that feeling of helping each other out? Because I'm a giver. I help where I can. I do charity work. I do beach cleans. I clean up around here, and I do a lot. And I feel like if anyone can take something away from this live today, is the more you give, the more you receive. So it is. And one thing that I want you to get in your brain, which I had to get through as well, is you're giving and giving and giving to a certain person, and you're expecting that back off that person. You are not necessarily going to. Like, you have to remember that you can give and give and give. It's going to come back in a different form, in a different way, threefold, tenfold. Because the more you give from a level of pureness and a level of love, and just because you want to, because you should do, it pays back. It really does. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of now. Like, I'm even receiving more intuitive thoughts, and my gifts are really growing, and I feel like that's what I'm getting back as well. I'm giving out so much hope and love.
You have to, I think, as well, be a bit specific, because sometimes if you are a giver, you can sometimes give and you're empty, and then you're being honest. So I think it's having discernment of when your cup's full enough to share it. If your cup needs filling, make sure you love yourself first, and then it will overflow. Because a lot of people, I used to do myself, I honestly give and not feel worthy of receiving, and then put myself last, and then end up with sick. So I think very important as well, that with the giving comes self-love. Self-love comes first, and then that will overflow into everyone else's cups. But 100%.
Yeah. So with that, with some, people that are losing people right now, especially with being alone in hospital and things like that, I feel like as a community and as a world right now, I've always said there is no new problem, there is no new challenge. We've all lost someone, we've all gone through heartbreak, we've all lost a friend, we've all been, we've all lost money, we've always, been in debt, we've all been through something that someone else has been through. And with what Louisa said is, okay, so someone grieved right now, they need to surround themselves with people who are going through the same thing. Because, so for example, I've been through heartbreak, I've lost a grandparent. I don't know if you have, but if you had, I could then get in touch with you and say, oh, Sam, how did you deal with heartbreak? How did you deal with losing your nan and your granddad? Can you help me? Can you just give me some ways and tips and tricks? And that's something special that I do is I've been through different challenges and heartbreak and stuff, but what makes us so unique is how I deal with it, and how you deal with it is completely different. And we have to have compassion for people like that, because we're all different. Some of us are weaker, some of us are stronger, and the strong pick up the weak. And I think that's why we're so amazing at the minute, because I'm picking people up as much as I can, and with my spirit, with my energy, with my love, and my heart goes out to these people who are losing people, who are alone in hospital. But I feel for them, they need to reach out to people who are going through the same, and build that community up to keep you all in high spirits and high energy, and to be there for each other, because that's what the world needs. We need to be there for each other, and we need to spread that kindness. And that's one thing that I think a lot's going to come up from this is the kindness, because we've a lot of give a lot, and we've been there for a lot of people, and it's needed. It really is needed.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's already, I'm seeing so much of it. And also, you see what you believe as well. So I surround myself. It's been a process. I've had to detangle, so I've had to get rid of the old patterns, but I finally got myself into a nice family, nice friends, nice apartment, that has found myself in that environment. I'm aware not everyone is in that environment, and a lot of people being pushed behind closed doors into environments that might not necessarily feel nice or homely. So surrounding yourself with as much positivity as you can, and staying creative, but also I forgot what I was saying. when your mind goes,
because you have so much to say.
Well, basically we believe what we perceive. So in order to experience a different reality, we need to start shifting our belief systems, and then that's the only way that we'll get out of this horrible dimension, or this lesson while it's here, because there is an end. It's there. We need to just try and tune into that it's already done, and accept each lesson with each moment as it comes.
Yeah, and I feel so. Anyone struggling? Reach out to people who are going to lift your spirits when you're ready. And I feel like something that we all need to be doing right now is reflecting on our lives and looking at how blessed we actually are. And, we have a roof over our head, we have food on the table, we have hot water for a shower, we can have a bath, we have, our TV, we can watch movies, we have Disney, we have so much amazing things around us, and sometimes we lose sight of that. So tips for me, definitely going forward, I want everyone today to write a gratitude list. If you do that already, great, do another one. One of my friends taught me something to do with gratitude. So we have a list, say 10 things. So if you write, I'm grateful for my home, I want you to then write 5 things around the home. So go deeper. Okay, so what is it about your home that you're grateful for? I'm grateful for my partner. Okay, so what about your partner are you grateful for? So it's getting at a deeper level, okay, that appreciation of why you're grateful for that. That is one big thing I want you to look at, is how grateful and blessed you are today. And another thing, especially with all the time we've got now and things changing, I want you to write a list of 20 things at least that make you happy, that bring you joy, that light you up, that make you feel alive. And when you have that list, I want you to do 3 a day minimum, and make sure you're spending that time on you. So, if it's a hot bath, watching a movie, reading a book, whatever it is that makes you feel alive. And, obviously going out in nature for a walk, I know we're limited to that. But anything you can do in this crisis, do 3 a day. Keep that cup full, because, like you said, you can't run from an empty cup. It's not possible, and it's not from pureness. It's not from a place of like being full and being in a place of, you can't give if you don't give to yourself. And it's the same. You can't expect someone to love you if you don't love yourself. So it's all connected. It's all joined. So they're my 2 major tips for and meditate. Meditate is to get your mind still. So with meditation, it's not about quieting the mind completely. It's starting off with letting those thoughts come in, because our brain is built for that. Letting them thoughts come in, what's for tea, what's for lunch, what we're doing tomorrow, what I'm going to wear. Let them come in, flow them out, and get back to the breath, and just get calm and present, and just give yourself 10 minutes just to breathe and just to sit for you. That's really important at the moment as well.
Yeah, and I agree with them all. And for me, I'd also say is, don't push things under the carpet anymore. Like, this is actually right now. It's not time to be pushing them bills, that eating thing that you've got, that smoking addiction, that drink. It's not time to continue like this anymore. Like, it is honestly time to wake up and ask yourself, why do you do things? And then go back. What's driven? Like, what was the knock-on effect? Start looking at emotions, becoming more body intelligent, and listen to your heart a lot more. The heart, not listening to that noise, and tapping into the gratitude of everything, and meditating, doing all of these practices together, will come out of this pandemic an actual butterfly, because this is we're in the cocoon and we've been the caterpillar, and now we're just growing and changing into a new beautiful being, and we're going to come out with gorgeous colourful wings if we use this time gracefully and responsibly. So yeah, just stop pushing them things that are holding you back. Have a look at it. And
I think for anyone who's struggling is, don't feel bad for reaching out, because I know you spoke about this with another lady on a live the other day. It's about, people don't want to reach out because they feel like a burden. You're not a burden. Like, people like us want to help you, whatever you're going through, But you feel lonely, you feel anxious, you feel worried and stressed, and you want to get on this path. You feel this, you're drawn to getting this vision, and you've got something inside you saying something needs to change. Reach out to people like us, because we've been there, and we know. That's what I'm saying about problems. We've all been there. We've all been in different problems, and that's why building a community is good, because I may have not been through something, like I've not lost a parent, God forbid, so someone may have. And I can go, well, I can put you in touch with someone who has, and they can help you. That's why the check-in buddies are good, because there's people probably that have paired up and they're going through the same thing. And that's where I think the world needs to come together. And I agree with you, Sam. Like, people need to wake up in this time and realise, like, there is bigger things out there that we can't control. All we need to do is work on us and what makes us happy, and use this time wisely, because it's gonna be over. We're all gonna go back to work. We're all gonna go back to that, daily 9 to 5 or whatever you do as a business. We're all gonna be back in that routine, and this is gonna be a distant memory. When we're gonna talk about it, oh my God, you remember the pandemic in 2020? Oh my God! But we need to think, well, what did you learn from that, and what did you do at that time? Did you just waste it and spend like a month just at home watching movies, doing things that you did prior to the pandemic? Just using your time not greatly. So use this time as much as you can to do the things you wanted to do.
Yeah, and maybe you might not even go back to that 9 to 5, but an online business.
Exactly, it's the vision. Yeah, you've got a vision, do it.
Yeah, maybe when you go within, you find the answers that you've taken from without, but you've not had the time or been allowed the space to actually process what this thing is we call life. And yeah, I'm actually see some of the good that comes from it. Also, I'm very aware that we are
just get to know your beautiful self, because you're all amazing in your own special way, and you all have unique gifts, and you all have a voice, you all have something to share with the world. And I feel like, get to know yourself, because I'm still getting to know myself, and so are you, Sam, and it's a constant. It's amazing. I love finding things out about myself and finding blocks and getting over those blocks and, you know, challenging yourself. But it's the inner work. You have to do the inner work, because then your outer world reflects that. So if you're feeling like, oh, I never get anywhere and I'm always in a rut, then get out of that rut. All you need to do is climb out, and it's just the doing. Don't procrastinate. Don't push it under the carpet, like you said. Just do it, and you feel better for it.
So gratitude list, meditation. What was the second one?
Self-love. Things you love to do.
Self-love list and looking at the shadows.
Yeah, so
good tips.
Yeah, and anyone who wants any free content, just go on my bio and just download the workbooks, download the meditation. If you need obviously guided meditation. And one thing I will offer is I've got a car map. If you download the car map, you can use my login if you want to use it for just to try it out.
Amazing. But
so now, if you want to say, I want me walk now, Mum, come on.
Would you like to pull a card? I'd love to.
Oh, yes. So I'm pulling a card from Messages from Your Angels. I felt drawn to them today because they are the higher beings, and they are the ones that know everything, and they're the ones that guide us through life. So I want to see what comes out. So give me a minute, because I want to just think of a collective world. Oh, okay. That was quick.
The jumpers are the best.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. I know. Do you like it? Okay, so this is so fitting. It's Athena. I'll just show you the card. And it is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. That is so fitting, because you are also powerful in your own unique way, and you need to remember that. And it's, don't feel like you can't be powerful because it's your ego saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Use your power, because it benefits others. The way you help others, Sam, and the way I help others is our own unique, special way. So use your gifts, find out what your gifts are if you're still in that process, and share them with the world, because you don't want to get to your deathbed and regret it. You really don't.
That's it. Honestly, like now more than ever, I feel like it's just a big wake call. And just to really ask you, like, I done a video yesterday, and it was to say, if you was to die tomorrow, how would you live today?
Yeah.
And how can we make each moment matter?
What the celebrity who died in a car crash? James Dean is quote that I always love is, dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today.
Amazing, 100%. So good. Do you want me to put the cards on?
Yes, go on. Yes, go for it.
Should we do an affirmation? Or
yeah, I think so, yeah, because it'd be one
an affirmation. What affirmation does our followers need? And These Are the Universe Have Got My Back by Gabby Bernstein.
I love them. Actually, I was going to choose them, I didn't, obviously, because you were supposed to do them.
Oh, no jumpers. Okay, we'll just take the top one. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any forms of separation are merely a call for help. So true.
Yeah. Yes.
So attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any forms of separation are merely a call for help.
Yes, that's what we're all feeling now. We do feel separated from our loved ones, so use that wisely. Reach out for help while you can.
Wow, that's so helpful. I'm going to take a picture of that, because that's what's happening right now. Attack, jealousy, judgment, separation, division. It's the ego in survival mode, and we have to have compassion with
use all that ego and them bad feelings and push them out to powerful feelings and to change them to opposites.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes, I hope you've all enjoyed it and took some great tips away.
Amazing. So I'm going to go write a fresh gratitude list now. I'm feeling inspired, and a self-love list. And what else was it? Meditate. I'll do that one.
Yeah, send me a picture so I'm holding you accountable.
Okay, lovely. Well, thank you so much, Pip. It's been amazing.
Yeah, love to catch up with you. Thanks, Sam.